Hello, welcome to the Literacy Sphere. I'm Oleander. In this channel, we talk about everything diction, public speaking, vocabulary building, and overall personal development. Welcome. If you are here for the first time, please take some time to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so that you wouldn't miss any single video. And if you are a returning subscriber, you are welcome home. Today, we will be looking at how to master correct pronunciation in English. There are a plethora of words in English. How can you tell if you are saying the word correctly? Or how can you learn to pronounce words correctly every time you speak? Disclaimer, I do not know the correct pronunciation of all the words in English, but to a large extent, I pronounce words correctly. So how can you get to that point where most of the words you say are correct, or most of the words you pronounce are correctly pronounced? How can you make sure of that? Today, I will share with you 4 sound tips that can help you to improve your pronunciation drastically. Are you ready? Grab your notebook, grab a pen, and write. Number 1, listen to good speakers. What did I say? Listen to good speakers. Many of the words I know today and I pronounce well today, I learned or I picked up from good speakers. Words like contribute. Contribute. A lot of people around me will say contribute or contribute. That's wrong. So it's contribute. Next you have consumer. Consumer and consume, not consumer. Yes, a lot of people around me will say consumer or even consumer. Assume. Assume. Many people I know will say assume or assume, but it should be assume. What about evaluate? Evaluate. What do you hear? Evaluate. That's what a lot of people say. There are just so many. Inevitable. Inevitable, not inevitable. What about expatiate? Expatiate, not expatiate. Look at that. We mispronounce a lot of words. And why does it happen? English language is not our first language. As Africans, English language is our second language, not our first. And so we're bound to mispronounce words. But we can help ourselves. And that's why I am teaching you today to listen to good speakers of the English language. Where can you find such good speakers? One is right here before you, right? That's by the way. That was just a joke. I'm still learning. Right, so you can find good speakers on TV. Yes, your newscasters, your broadcasters. You can listen to good speakers on TV. Listen to people who read the news. Listen to newscasters on BBC. Yes. And if you're learning the American English or you love the American English, listen on CNN. Okay? There you can pick up correct pronunciation of words. You can also find good speakers on YouTube. Many good speakers have YouTube channels. You can listen to a lot of them on YouTube. Okay? So find a speaker whom you know pronounces words correctly. We're not talking about the ones who have accents, okay? We're talking about good speakers who are native speakers or who you know speak English correctly, mostly with a neutral accent if possible. All right? Yes, you can find good speakers on YouTube because most of them have YouTube channels. You can find good speakers on radio. The newscasters, the presenters on radio, listen to articulate ones, eloquent ones. There are a lot of them on radio. For instance, I love to listen to Femi of Femi and the Gang, Femi Obong Daniels. He pronounces words articulately. Yvonne Okaifotu, I like to listen to her. She pronounces her words clearly and correctly. We've got a lot of great speakers out there, great presenters, great show hosts, great newscasters, radio, TV, YouTube, excellent for picking up correct pronunciation of words. The next tip I'm about to share with you might sound funny or serious, but it's actually highly effective. From music, yes, you can learn correct pronunciation from music. Did you know that a lot of words I know I learned from music? For instance, the word dance and dancing. For the longest time, while growing up, I called that word dance. I pronounced it as dance because that's what everyone around me said. Dance, dance, dance. It was when I listened to Lady in Red by Chris de Burgh that I got the correct pronunciation of that word, dance. He sang, Lady in Red is dancing with me. Did you hear anything? Of course not. Just take the dancing. Okay? My voice is terrible. So between me and you didn't hear me sing. You just heard dancing. So yes, when I listened to him and he said dancing, I quickly looked up the word in the dictionary and I saw that it was dance, dancing, dance with a long sound, not dance like I've been calling it all my life. And so from that day, I learned how to pronounce that word correctly. And since then, I've been teaching everyone around me that it's dance and dancing, not dance and dancing. Next, it was from a song that I learned the correct pronunciation of the word wicked. Wicked. As a child, as an adolescent, as a young adult, I called it wicked. Yes, wicked. Because that's what everyone called it. It was when I listened to Brick and Lace, two young ladies. It was until I got into, I think, high school or university that I listened to that song by Brick and Lace, Love is Wicked. You hear, na 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 na, love is wicked, na 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 na, love is wicked. I heard wicked. I looked it up, I saw it was wicked. I said, what? It was fascinating to me. And so I picked up that pronunciation and ran with it. Since then, I haven't mispronounced the word wicked. What about could, would, should? It was in the song by Celine Dion, Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda. When I heard her say coulda, woulda, shoulda, I said, ooh, could? That means there's no L. Could. In the pronunciation of the could, would, should, she omitted the L. Although I know Celine Dion wasn't originally English, she's French-Canadian, but she learned English and she perfected it. So I decided to look up those words and I saw actually that in the pronunciation of those words, there is no sound. You don't add the sound. So you say could, would, should. I also learned the sound, the vowel sound in there, that it's oh, not ooh. Because prior to that time, I would say could. Could you help me? Should I come? Would you do it? Ooh, that's how a lot of non-native speakers mispronounce those words. From music, I learned coulda, woulda, shoulda, and so many other words that I can't remember at this time. You can learn correct pronunciation by listening to foreign music, by native speakers, by good English speakers. Are you following? Let me know if you are enjoying this lesson and if you are learning. Next, you can learn correct pronunciation by mastering the sounds of the English language. This might sound a bit technical. Does it sound like jargon to you? Not to worry, okay? I'm going to break it down. When I say the sounds of the English language, I am referring to the symbols that help you in articulating words while speaking English, that help you know the correct pronunciation in words. To expatiate on this, think about this. The English language is made up of 26 letters. Yes, 26 letters. However, we know that some of those letters make more than one sound. For instance, letter A can make the sound A in okay. It can make the sound A in apple. It can make the sound R in dance, almond. Yes, 3 sounds already, and there are more. The same applies to some other letters. For instance, letter I can say I in ice cream, ice. It can say I in ink, fish, sick, and other words. See? So different letters make different sounds. That is why in English language we have 44 sounds. These sounds contribute to your pronunciation of words. And when you use them correctly, your pronunciation will be accurate. So you learn how to pronounce words correctly by applying the correct sound in words. Does it make sense? How do you know the sounds? Let me give you some examples to help you appreciate how the sounds work. When you don't apply the sounds correctly, it will cause you to mispronounce words, and worse still, the word you pronounce can mean something else. This is the reason why a lot of native speakers do not comprehend you when you speak to them. You hear a lot of pardon, repeat, because they're struggling to make out what you're saying. They're struggling to understand the word you're using because it's possible you're mispronouncing that word. And so in the context you're applying it, it becomes senseless. And that is why the person listening says, pardon. So now look at these examples. This is a seat, right? I am sitting on a seat. The action is called sit, sit, sit. But what would you observe when a lot of non-native speakers speak? You hear seat down, seat down. The sound for the action, which is supposed to be a short sound, I, is replaced by a long sound, E, which is a sound you have in seat, the chair itself. So when you say seat, someone will think you're referring to the chair. You should rather say sit, not seat. See? Sit, the action, seat, the object. Let's look at another example. Ship, sheep. The vessel that moves on water, on the sea, or in the ocean is called a ship. It has a captain, the ship captain, ship, ship, ship. What about the one with the E sound, sheep? That one is the animal. But what would you observe? A lot of people will say the sheep from the sea, the sheep captain. When you say that, you cause confusion because you're using the sound for the animal to apply to the vessel on the sea. So it's not sheep on the water, it's ship, while the animal is sheep. Are you following? Right? Another example, when you've eaten enough, you've eaten a lot of food, what do you say? A lot of people say, fool. When you say that, you're calling yourself a fool. What should you say instead? They should say, full. I am full, full, full. It has a short sound, a short O sound, while the FOOL has a long OO sound. So full and fool. The same applies to pull, pull, and pool, the swimming pool. Okay? Pull the trigger, pull the rope, pull the cord, pull, Pull, while the pool, the water, is pool with a long sound. See? See how the sounds work? When you master the sounds, then you should be able to apply them correctly. We've looked at 3 powerful tips to help you improve your pronunciation of words. Now let's look at the final tip to help you master correct pronunciation in English. And that is learn the rhythm of the English language, which is also called stress in English, stress placement. Have you heard about stress in English? Yes, that can contribute greatly to your pronunciation of words. To help you understand stress, think about the word table. Table. In that word, there's a stress on the first syllable. Table is a word with 2 syllables. Okay? The stress should be on the first syllable because it's a noun. A noun with 2 syllables should be stressed on the first syllable. And so you have table. And what does it mean to stress a word? It means that you say that syllable with a louder tone, you stretch it, you say it longer, and with a higher pitch. Okay? So a stressed syllable is longer, louder, and said with a higher pitch. Okay? Table. Table. That's how English language works. But what you observe, a lot of people will pronounce it as table. Yes, a lot of non-native speakers or second language speakers of the English language will say table. They stress every part of the word, and that is wrong. We do that for many words. We do that for almost all the words. And that's because we transfer the features of our native languages to the English language while speaking, and that is why we mispronounce words a lot when we speak. So master correct stress placement while speaking, and your pronunciation will improve drastically. In a future video, I will discuss with you in detail stress placement in English so that you can apply the rules of stress on a wider range to cover a lot of words, and that will greatly improve your pronunciation skills. Did you enjoy this video? Please give me a thumbs up, okay? Drop a like and let me know in the comment section which is your best tip. Which of the tips did you love the most, and which one would you begin to apply immediately? I would like to read from you in the comment section, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Please share this video so that others can learn just like you have learned as well. Till we meet again, I remain Oluyanda, your distinct elocutionist. Bye.